Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome to a new session of current updates. And here with me is Ananya.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. So, Ananya, what are we doing today?
Today, our topic is film and literature.
Yes. So, let me start by sharing my screen first. Right. So, I welcome you all again to our session of current updates today. So, today, what we will deal with is film and literature. So, what will our session entail today? As you all have seen, that in various competitive exams these days, they're asking questions about film adaptations, right? So, what is a film adaptation? There is a film which has been adapted from a work of literature, be it a novel or a short story or a play or anything, right? So that's what we call a film adaptation. There is a literary work when it gets adapted into a new form, into a new media. That's what we know as film adaptation. So in NET, SET, CUET, GATE, or any other PSC exam for that matter, you will see questions on films which have been made based on some popular or maybe not so popular work of literature. So today we will try to look at certain films which have been based on many popular novels, mostly also short stories. Right. So I hope I'm clear. So let's start. Yes, Ananya, here is the first slide.
Yeah, so Kai Poche. Now, this is a 2013 Indian Hindi language buddy sports drama film directed by Abhishek Kapoor and produced by Ronnie Screwvala and Siddharth Roy Kapoor under UTV Motion Pictures. And it marked the banner's first solo production under the Disney UTV brand. This work was adapted from Chetan Bhagat's 2008 novel. It was The Three Mistakes of My Life. And it had three-song soundtrack by Amit Trivedi and lyrics by Swanand Kirkire. Now, the film stars Rajkumar Rao, Amit Sad, and newcomer Sushant Singh Rajput as the three main protagonists, while Amrita Puri plays the female lead. The title is originally a Gujarati phrase that means I have cut, which refers to Makar Sankranti. It is known as Uttarayan in Gujarat, where one of the competitors uses his kite to cut off another competitor's kite and then he yells the phrase.
So that's a very popular movie. I think we all are more or less aware, or many of us have even watched this movie, right? Kai Po Che. It's a movie based on Chetan Bhagat's novel, The Three Mistakes of My Life. So these are the small details which we just need to remember, that what is that movie, which work is it based on, who directed that movie, or who wrote the novel on which this particular movie has been made. Okay, so just remembering these little details will be enough for the exams. Okay, so let's move on to our next film. Yes.
So it is Lutera. Now this was launched in 2013 and it is a Indian Hindi language period romantic drama film directed by Vikram Aditya Motwane, and the second half is based on author O. Henry's 1907 short story The Last Leaf. It is the second film directed by Motwane after the critically acclaimed Udan 2010, and it is set in the 1950s against the backdrop of the Zamindari Abolition Act by the newly independent India. It tells the story of a young conman posing as an archaeologist and the daughter of a Bengali zamindar. The film stars Sonakshi Sinha and Ranveer Singh in lead roles. Produced by Shobha Kapoor, Ekta Kapoor, Anurag Kashyap, and Vikas Bahl, the film features music and background score by Amit Trivedi with lyrics penned by Amitabh Bhattacharya and cinematography by Mahendra J. Shetty.
So that's all about this movie Lutera. And as you saw that this movie is based on O. Henry's short story, The Last Leaf. So I will just give you a short summary of the plot of this movie so that you can connect it with the short story for those who haven't watched the movie as of yet. So here in this movie, we see that in the picturesque town of Manikpur, West Bengal, in 1953, a landlord, Soumitra Roy Chaudhuri, goes to watch a jatra with his daughter, Shodamini Pakhi Roy Chaudhuri, as an aspiring writer. After Pakhi has an asthma attack, from the ensuing excitement, she is rushed to her room and given medication. As she recuperates, her father comforts her and narrates the story of the invincible king of Bhil tribe, whose soul resided inside a parrot, telling her that she is the parrot within whom his life resides. And then we see that gradually how she keeps on falling sick, her health deteriorates. In meanwhile, she also meets Ranveer Singh, right, the hero of this movie, and every time she used to draw a leaf, as the short story also tells us, and stick it to the tree. And that's a symbol of hope for the heroine here, who believes that, okay, as long as that leaf is there, I will be able to survive. That willpower is given to her by that drawing of that tree, right? So, again, a lovely movie based on a lovely short story. All right, let's move on to the next work. Yes.
Fitur. This 2016 Indian Hindi language musical romantic drama directed by Abhishek Kapoor, produced by Siddharth Roy Kapoor and written by Kapoor and Supratik Sen, based on Charles Dickens' 1861 novel Great Expectations. This film features Tabu, Katrina Kaif and Aditya Roy Kapoor in lead roles. Filming began in Kashmir in November 2014 and concluded in October 2015, and it had cross-cultural adaptations.
So when we look at Bollywood movies which have been which are based on English novels, so a very important aspect you can study is the idea of cross-cultural adaptation, right? Because as you can see that this movie is based on Charles Dickens' Great Expectations, a novel which has English setting, English characters, right? English social setting, English everything English. But when that particular story is brought into an Indian setting, how does that work? When the characters are Indian, the setting is Indian, everything is cast into a different mold altogether, right? So how does that politics of representation work in cross-cultural adaptations? It's a very important idea, right? So, as per the novel, we see that in this movie, Noor Nizami, a 13-year-old Kashmiri schoolboy from a lower middle class family, works as a part time errand boy in order to earn some pocket money. His employer is Begum Hazrat Jahan, a rich widow who lives in perpetual mourning and never leaves her sprawling but rundown mansion. She therefore needs an errand boy to do the shopping, go to the post office, the bank, and so forth. And for this, she employs Noor, Aditya Roy Kapoor, who is the hero, and he's the son of a respectable but poor family. Noor becomes infatuated with Hazrat's daughter Firdos, Katrina, who is the same age as him. Hazrat notices this and disapproves of her daughter being so friendly with an errand boy. Nevertheless, Noor and Firdos, they grow closer until Hazrat sends her abroad to a posh boarding school, insulting and taunting Noor as she breaks the news. Meanwhile, it is revealed that Hazrat had been left heartbroken in her youth by her lover, presumably Firdos's father. So once you just go through the plot of this movie, or if you have watched this movie, you can easily relate, right? How the plot of this novel Expectations has been molded here, right? The plot remains quite similar to that of the novel, but the setting, the cultural milieu, the social and cultural representation, how that works in a cross-cultural setting. So all these are very important. So again, a very important movie based on a very important novel. Fitur, based on Dickens's Great Expectations. Okay. Before we proceed, let us remind you that today we have already closed our, or till midnight, I think we will be keeping our admission open for December net course. So if you still want to enroll for our course, please hurry because not much time is left. And you can use our code the Sara to get a discount of rupees 2000, and you can join our December net course. So hurry, if you haven't already joined our course, do enroll through our official website, vallath.in. And don't forget to use this code, the Sara, for the discount. Right. Next, yes.
Jab Tak Hai Jaan. This 2012 Indian Hindi language romantic drama film, directed by Yash Chopra and written and produced by his son Aditya Chopra, under their banner Yash Raj Films. This film stars Shah Rukh Khan, Katrina Kaif, and Anushka Sharma. The plot of Jab Tak Hai Jaan is somewhat similar to that of the 1951 novel The End of the Affair by British author Graham Greene. Though it can't be said that Yash Chopra's swan song is entirely adapted from the novel, but the plot seems to be inspired by it, if only in part.
So here we have a movie which is roughly based on Graham Greene's novel, The End of the Affair. Again, I think it's a very popular movie of Shah Rukh Khan. So Jab Tak Hai Jaan, right? It is partially based on Graham Greene's novel, The End of the Affair. And here the story revolves around Samar Anand, that is Shah Rukh Khan, who is a bomb disposal expert, whose diary falls into the hand of an intern, Akira Rai. Anushka Sharma. The diary recounts his time as a struggling immigrant in London and later details his whirlwind romance with Meera Thapar, Katrina Kaif, right? So this movie is somewhat a bit like Graham Greene's novel, The End of the Affair. So please remember these things that it might help you in exams. You know, when you are sitting for exams, knowing these details might help you in various ways. So please look up these things more. You will find more such movies. Since it's a short session, we tried to cover some of the very well-known movies. So do look up all this more. You will come across more such movies which have been adapted from famous works of literature. Right. Next.
So, Savarya. Now, this is a 2007 Indian Hindi language romance film produced and directed by Sanjay Leela Bhansali and is based on Fyodor Dostoevsky's 1848 short story White Nights. The film marked the debut of Ranbir Kapoor and Sonam Kapoor. It was the last film appearance of both Zohra Sehgal and Begum Para before their deaths. Co-produced by Sony Pictures Entertainment, it is the first Bollywood film to receive a North American release by a Hollywood studio and is one of the first Bollywood films to be released on Blu-ray disc.
Again, a very well-known movie of Ranbir Kapoor and Sonam Kapoor, right? And this movie is based on Dostoevsky's short story White Nights. Here, this movie is narrated by Gulabji, a prostitute who frequents R.K. Bar, the town's most luxurious club. The bar's lead singer, Raj, whom she affectionately calls Savarya, that is beloved, is a free-spirited and kind-hearted man. Despite knowing what Gulab does, Raj is friendly to her and unlike other men is kind to the other prostitutes, trying to brighten their sad lives. When he tells Gulab that he needs a job and somewhere to stay, she tells him that there is only one woman who will give him a place to stay, Lillian, but she allows only those she likes. Then Raj meets Lillian and they have an emotional conversation during which Lillian reveals she had a son who left her many years ago to join the army and never returned. She lets Raj stay with her because he reminds her of her long-lost son. That night, Raj meets a mysterious girl. He tries to talk to her, but under the wrong impression, she shouts at him to go away. Raj tells her that he will, on the condition that he would escort her to safety, lest someone with bad intentions trouble her. As predicted by Raj, a drunkard begins following her, and Raj saves her from him. After that, she allows him to escort her home. Raj discovers her name is Sakina, that is Sonam Kapoor, and falls in love with her, and likewise the plot progresses. So again, a very popular movie, you can say, Savaria, based on Dostoevsky's short story White Nights. Right? Okay. Next.
So, Two States. This was a 2014 Indian Hindi language romantic comedy drama film directed by Abhishek Varman and produced by Karan Johar and Sajid Nadiawala. Based on Chetan Bhagat's 2009 novel of the same name, with a story rewritten by Varman and Bhagat. The film stars Arjun Kapoor and Alia Bhatt, with Amrita Singh, Ronit Roy, Revati, and Shiv Kumar Subramaniam in supporting roles.
Again, very popular movie of Alia Bhatt, right? And Aditya Roy Kapoor. So it is also a movie which is based on the novel of the same name by Chetan Bhagat, right? And here we see that Krish Malhotra, there is Aditya Roy Kapoor. He's a fresh engineer from IIT Delhi, pursuing his MBA at IIM Ahmedabad. He comes from an affluent Punjabi Hindu family based in New Delhi. His mother, Kavita, is in a troubled relationship with his alcoholic father, Vikram Malhotra, with whom he has strained relations. He is immediately smitten when he meets Ananya Swaminathan, a fellow student from a conservative Tamil Brahmin family in Chennai. When she tells him she wants to study with him, he agrees, and the two gradually become friends. After a minor pause in meeting her, Krish eventually confesses his feelings for her one night, and the two share a kiss. They begin dating and live together for the next few months on campus. Krish confides in Ananya that his real passion is writing, which he wants to pursue as a career. As the two attend their interviews on campus, drives, Krish proposes to Ananya, and she gladly accepts. Krish gets selected for Yes Bank, while Ananya is selected for Sunsilk, and then the two families start quarreling that whether they should get married or not. There is this idea of cultural shock, which is happening because the girl is Punjabi, the boy is Punjabi, the girl is South Indian. So this cultural battle is also happening. So it's a movie which is based on Chetan Bhagat's novel of the same name, Two States, and it talks about his courtship and marriage with his girlfriend. So I guess that's all for tonight. And before we leave you, do join our net course by tonight. We're closing the admission after tonight, and do use our code DASERA to get the discount of rupees 2,000. And do look up all these movies more and more, like Pinjar, The Guide, and many such movies are there which are based on famous works of literature. Pinjar by Amrita Pritam, The Guide by R.K. Narayan. These are works which were later made into movies, right? So do look up, do learn more. This was just a session to direct you guys that, okay, these are the things, and then you can look up things further, right? So that's all for tonight, I guess. Ananya, shall we wrap up for tonight?
Yes, good night, everyone.